Hello everyone, now we are in pretty unusual times right now. Many of us are confined to our homes, we are stuck indoors, having to train indoors. So that means thinking outside the box in terms of our training. Now this has come on quite suddenly for a lot of us, so maybe we weren't equipped and ready for this. But I'm here to help. Today I'm going to be doing a bit of DIY that you can follow along and get stuck into too. We're going to be making some homemade DIY equipment. Right, before I get the drill out, we're going to start off with a super easy, simple one that anyone can do as long as you've got an empty bottle, plastic bottle of water like this around. Plastic, not glass, you'll see why. This is actually a recovery tool. We'll get into the exercise devices soon, but this can actually transfer into an exercise device, hopefully. What we're going to do, we're going to fill this up with water all the way to the top, literally as much water as you can get in there. Be careful, and then use the cap to put back on and contain all the water you can. Right, let's show you. So there we go. I've literally got as much water in there as possible. I have oh damn it, I've got one air bubble in there. Pretty good though, as much as I possibly can. And that is rock solid. So you know what that creates now? A foam roller, although obviously not foam, but the equivalent. And that means that we can now use that for massaging our quads, our hamstrings, our calves, whatever you want. I really like using a foam roller, and if you've forgotten one, you haven't got one, maybe you're traveling, a really cheap, quick alternative. Pretty nifty. Now time to head outside because we're about to get the power tools out. I am about to make a balance board using either this, if you like, or a foam roller, or if you've got something better, use that. Now I've got some wood hanging around. Just pick this up here. There we go. It's probably a little bit too long. I've used a skateboard before, just took the trucks off it. But what we're going to do, I mean, that would work as it is. Basically place that on top of the bottle or the foam roller. But you can also add, basically, get this other bit of wood here. A little bit of wood to each end, just as stoppers to make sure that you don't slip off. I'll show you how. Okay, so all you need here is a drill, a saw, and I've got a bunch of screws and bolts and things here, so something there will work. It doesn't need to be that precise. I'm just going to cut this to size. These are just bits of wood that I've got lying around. I'm sure many people have got odd bits of wood lying around, so I'm sure you could probably make this work. So I'm just going to cut this roughly down to size. Let's make sure that fits. Like I said, this is way too long. Preferably cut this down, but it'll do. Makes it harder actually the longer it is. So that's cool, that fits nicely. I'm just gonna screw down through. If you've got a workbench, even better. That'll do, and then make the same for the other side. So, there we go. Let's go try it out. Okay, so we're going to use the bottle and the ground. So this is just simply a balance board. Great for lateral strength in your legs and also your core. So here we go. Bottle hasn't popped yet. Woo! Nice. And obviously you can switch it out, put a foam roller in there instead. But with the boards on each end, it means you won't just slip out. Okay, so there's the first couple done, bit of core there. Now we're going to move on to something a little bit more run specific, still uses the core. I'm actually going to head inside for the first part, and then we're going to progress from there and come outdoors. Okay, there's been a couple of videos floating around lately of people trying to keep their running up when they can't get outdoors, using washing liquid on a tiled or smooth surface and then being able to run on top of the washing liquid in a little bit of water. Good idea, I really enjoy them, but then you've got to clean that mess up. Well, I guess you get a really nice clean floor out of it. Or alternatively, find some towels, some nice like smooth ones, throw them down on the ground, put your feet on top of them if you need to, maybe put a bit of polish down on the ground. Again, gonna get clean the floor, and it works just as well. Okay, so 2 rags down on the ground. Gonna put both feet onto them, and both feet out in front, so onto all fours. Okay, and then we're gonna bring one knee up to your elbow, and then we're gonna alternate like this, keeping a nice strong core, almost like you're in a plank position. It's harder than it looks. I'll swap around so you can see better. And the beauty is, you get to clean the floor in the process. But a little progression from this, we're gonna head back outside. You might enjoy this one a little bit more. Okay, so following on from that, I actually picked this one up off pro triathlete Brian McChrystal. Now, he posted up a video of him recently using 2 square bits of wood. So imagine it was cut off here, about that sort of size actually. And on the underside, he had 4 rollers or 4 wheels, okay? And then he used them under each foot to essentially do what I just did in the kitchen. I don't have 4 rollers or 4 wheels here, and I can't go to DIY shop at the moment, but I do, and you guys out there may have something similar. Maybe you've got some kids as well, or you own one yourself. Got a couple of skateboards, so I'm going to use that, and it essentially does the same thing. So let me show you. Got one already hit. Again, put myself down in this plank position, 1 foot on each. There we go. How cool is that? Next up, we're going to use some stretch cords. Now, if you're really fortunate, you might have some stretch cords like this around. So these are used for swim training or indoor swim cords. But if you don't have those, there are alternatives that some of you may have around. I don't know what you exactly call these, but Octopus Straps, where they've got a little hook on the end. So you might use these for strapping stuff down onto the top of your car or something like that. So there's loads of stuff we can do with these, and really good if you don't have weights at home and you want to sort of replicate that feeling of using weights. So first up, I've got a couple just linked together here. If I grab either end, we can do pull-outs to the side. We've also got essentially like bicep curls. It's actually quite good. And then I've actually managed to find a bit of wood. Maybe you've got something similar. This is an old handrail for our stairs, but you can link these 2 straps around there. Essentially like using a barbell now, and I can pull up. It's pretty good. And now actually, if I use a slightly shorter one, or of course you can just tie them up or make them whatever length you want. I just link these ones around my feet. So I've got 1 on each foot. Put them around the bar. And now, if I start in sort of a squat position, and really getting that glute activation, it's actually quite good. It's not perfect. It's not as good as maybe having proper barbell weights on, but it's not far off. It still keeps that movement, that activation going. Pretty pleased with that. A couple of quick, simple ones here. So most people have got some form of bag or duffel bag lying around at home. And these are great for filling up and using as a kind of weight. So I've got a couple of heavy things to the side here. I've got a bag of gravel and a load of sand, so you can use something similar. Anything heavy, fill that duffel bag, obviously to whatever weight you want. But this is pretty heavy as it is. Right, Okay, there we go. Use that. Oh, it's quite good. There we go, so you do all sorts of exercises, lunges, and so on. Yeah, that's good. And then, moving on, you're gonna laugh at me here. Milk carton, you can fill that. Okay, I've only got a small one here, but ideally get a big one. You can fill that with sand and make it into a little weight. There we go, make sure you get that cap on. And there we go. That's quite light actually, but maybe you want a bigger one. But yeah, pretty good for small exercises, maybe just some of the shoulder stuff for some of the finer movements. But yeah, another good one. There you go, that is my homemade DIY training equipment that hopefully you can make yourself. It doesn't really require any specialist tools or equipment for it. It's actually pretty straightforward stuff, hopefully stuff that you have at home yourself that you will be able to make as well. I know some of it's a bit mad, a bit wacky, but you got to think outside the box during these sort of current times and situations. And if you've got any other ideas, make sure you drop them down in the comment section below. I would love to have carried on a few more ideas, including making a homemade bike stand for your indoor training sessions. Maybe I'll make a standalone video for that. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, drop them in the comment section below. If you make any of this yourself, please let me know how you get on with it, if it works. Maybe send some videos into our GTN photo uploader. And if you have enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like. And if you'd like to see more from GTN, make sure you subscribe to our social media channels.